Hey, welcome to the podcast, All Eyes on You. Thank you for coming to the channel, Life of a Nerd. To everyone that was watching the podcast before, things have changed. To personally talk about it really quickly is that old faces you've seen are no longer here, and the new faces are those who are still with me. Live isn't here right now. She's dealing with personal things, but we do have someone stepping in to the podcast, someone new and a good friend of mine. I want him to introduce himself. Please tell the people who you are.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Shinfukaze. I'm here today with your boy here, Fat and DD1. So I'm new to the whole thing here.
Yes. So Shin Fukaze here is Shin. I'm gonna call him Shin for most. Abbreviate your name for a minute. Shin here has been pretty good friend. He has talking skills. He's good to the podcast, and he's new to this side. And this side that we 43 subs here can kind of tell we're not new to this. So we're going to talk about the things that have been happening, things that have been popping out of the entertainment world in general, because there's been a lot that's going down. And the first things I want people on the podcast to realize is when it comes to comic books and it comes to film, let's get into it, because first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to preface this for the audience. We're talking about Superman. It just came out, directed by James Gunn and DC Films, rebooting the entire DC EU franchise after Zack Snyder. I know there's a lot of Snyder fans out there that love Zack Snyder's version of Justice League. I want to be preface things to say Zack Snyder's version was good for non-comic book fans. Zack Snyder did a lot with Justice League. He did a lot with Man of Steel. He did a lot with Batman versus Superman. But a lot of times, if you're a fan of those, you really stick up for them, but you don't like comic books. And if you say you do, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But my one problem with those were they made Superman too much of a god, too much proliferal type of Jesus figure. I get it. Batman and Superman shouldn't have fought in a second movie. Definitely not. Wonder Woman popping up out of nowhere was cool. Her first solo movie was good. Her second movie was terrible. And Aquaman and his second movie was all right. Zack Snyder never seems to get sequels, prequels, and anything. Justice League, the Snyder Cut, was good. I enjoyed it. Did I have to sit 4 hours to watch a movie? Yes, I fucking did. Was it worth the wait? I think it was. A lot of fill in here, fill in there, stuff you didn't get from Joss Whedon's version. And Joss Whedon's version was very choppy. James Gunn, who worked on Guardians of the Galaxy, who created that entire franchise. And yes, he did like the Suicide Squad, he did Peacemaker, and he did, I hate to mention this show, the Harley Quinn show. He's done a good job for what people will believe is comedy. He was canceled at some point from Marvel and fired because of his inappropriate tweets. Then he came back, finished Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and now is working with DC on Superman, based on Superman, Man of Tomorrow. Basically referenced and preferenced off that comic. That comic made this movie and gave this movie more life and more energy. He did preference this by saying, this movie is like opening up a comic book. It goes right into it. We get a spoiler alert. This is a straight spoiler for anyone who hasn't watched Superman. It's been out for about, a good, let's say, 3 weeks? Almost a month, right?
I said 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, almost like 3 weeks. So this is a spoiler-heavy part of the podcast. If you don't want to watch this part, move on to when we talk about anime at said timestamp. If you want to actually listen to this, stay tuned. It starts off kind of like a text recap of Superman. Like, hey, and we thought we were alone. An alien came to the planet 3 years later. He's saving people. They already established Superman. They don't give us the backstory of Krypton blowing up. They don't give us him crash landing. Ma and Pa Kent seem to be pretty much older, like really older for some reason. If this is modern times, I thought they would have been looking a little more younger-ish, but not super old. James Gunn has stated he grew up in the farmland, so he kind of, I guess his representation of older people, like, from, I don't know, let's say a millennial or Gen Z's perspective would be these type of folks. For Ma and Pa Kent, they really did a lot of text stuff, and then boom, Superman crash lands in the Antarctic. And honestly, our first depiction of him is getting his ass beat.
Now, if I can say something about that, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
So in my situation, I was a bit surprised seeing that because like the first thing that pops up is like Superman's getting the Yamcha treatment. I'm like, damn, he's like Yamcha from Dragon Ball Z. Like, sheesh. Dude, he could be by Superman. Like shit. In a way, I feel like how it portrayed in the beginning like that, it was just like a mystery. Like, what caused Superman to get defeated like that, and how is he weak, or how is he just not able to withstand the way he got beaten in a situation when he called Crypto. Now that was something kind of making me laugh. I'm like, here comes your boy, and then next thing you know, Crypto's like super
Jumping
energetic.
on him, beating his butt.
Yeah,
So this is a
yeah.
dog. Which that said dog was referenced off of James Gunn's actual dog. So his dog will live forever in a fucking Superman movie.
Oh, wait, did his dog pass away or something?
No, his dog's still alive, but
Okay.
they used all of his dog's mannerisms, actions,
And mocap.
biting his feet, stuff like that. They used a lot of his dog to create this super crypto dog.
Oh, okay. But they use mocap in order for it to work.
I think they did. I think they used a lot of mocap, maybe some animation, but they really CGI. Maybe part of it might be a more real dog here and there, but a lot of times they say it's a CGI dog. You know what I'm saying? So they took but he's based off of James Gunn's dog.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
But I do feel like later after. No, I'm gonna say this. What really caught my attention was the Fortress of Solitude.
Okay.
Like after seeing Crypto grabbing Superman back into the Fortress of Solitude, and then seeing the helpers, I'm just like, okay, so we definitely know there weren't no talkative of how Krypton was destroyed and everything. All you just see is like you see Superman's
Texts.
parents. Yeah, it was talking about like the final message, but it was just like a decrypted message because they had a glitch in the end, which we didn't know what it was being said. Superman lives by that his parents' words, so I do feel like down the line it was just like I was trying to figure out what was going on, like how from point A to point B Superman gets beat, Crypto comes pick him up, Fortress of Solitude, then after that, he heals,
Yeah.
from the sun, like praise the sun, Dark Souls reference, and then
Oh,
he goes back to
Metropolis.
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 Yeah, exactly, right. And then from a situation, this guy called Ultraman comes out of nowhere. I'm like Ultraman from like Japanese Ultraman, like Ultraman. Yeah, I'm thinking about that, but he's
No.
AKA the Hammer from
Yeah, a lot of people. I already knew this off the bat who Ultraman
yeah,
was because when I heard Ultraman, the first thing I thought of was the alternate universe where Superman is evil, right? Ultraman.
right.
But then the first thing I thought about was, well, that doesn't make sense. Are we doing multiverses right now? Is James Gunn really going into that? But DC always had a time and place for their own multiverse. They're called Elseworld stories.
Yeah,
DC has all that. So, but when Superman got back, this dude was what is it? The Shield of Qatar, something like that. I forgot his name. I hate
Shield
it.
Guitar.
Yeah, he
Shield
was
Guitar.
the hammer of Qatar.
Bolivia. I think it
The
was
hammer of Bolivia is what
I
he
think it was
was
called Bolivia.
called.
Yeah.
Bolivia.
If I'm
And
wrong in the comments, let me know, guys.
yeah,
Just
but Superman, a lot of people didn't like the fact that Superman was he was getting healed by the sun, but he was screaming because all his bones were shattered and fractured. But I'm like,
yeah,
that it makes perfect sense if he got beat that bad that he fractured some bones. That means somebody was strong enough to do damage to Superman. Superman is not unbreakable. He can be broken. The sun heals everything about him. Superman's like a living alien plant. You know what
yeah, it
I
really is.
mean?
Yeah,
So when he got back into the fight, even his helper robots were like, "Are you sure you should be jumping back in? You just got healed." Like there's never a rest moment. So when he fought the Hammer of Bolivia, I felt like this was retribution for what Superman did. What they referenced early on in the movie that started to be in the middle section of where they referenced him saving people without telling the government, doing it on his own, and not basically taking things into his own hands. I'm saving people in other countries. I'm violating U.S. law. I'm violating airspace. Basically,
Yep.
breaking a lot of laws and treaties and just doing things that he shouldn't be doing. When he defeats the Hammer of Bolivia, or still gets a little beat
No,
up here
he
and
didn't
there.
defeat him though. That's
He
the
did. He
thing.
didn't defeat him. He didn't defeat him. He
No,
still
because here's
got a
the
little
thing
one
that
on
I'm gonna
one.
say. Yeah, because here's the thing. Hammer was having a monologue. It was like literally how like Nacho Man like, where you think you're going? I got 3 minutes of playtime with you, Superman. Yeah, that's what it came out to. And I'm over here thinking like, okay, what's going on? You see Lex Luthor and Luthor Corp, and I'm seeing some female coworker. I'm like, is that a coworker or is that like Lex Luthor's like plaything? She's taking a selfie,
She's taking
and I'm just
selfies. I love her.
yeah,
I'm not gonna
like
lie. Preference
what's
this.
go?
The
Yeah,
selfie was
yeah,
right on point as Superman got his ass beat. Lex Luthor
exactly.
hating,
Yeah,
hate the most
dude.
hated man in the world.
And
Just hating.
I'm just asking myself, like, what's going on here? You have Hammer of Bolivia doing a monologue. This girl taking a selfie for some odd reason. I don't know why, but it does play later on down the movie of why she's taking selfies. But then finding out, and this is what caught my attention. Luthor is commanding Hammer of Bolivia, like aka Ultraman, into doing tactical moves. But those moves,
One
I don't
A,
think
one A,
people.
one B, one C,
Hold
one
on, hold
E,
on,
two
hold on.
three.
No, no, you got it wrong. Those moves, I think they're from chest.
Okay, chess
Pretty much when
moves.
you playing chess, yes. I feel like those are the moves that you play in chess because I'm like different letters and numbers you're saying. I'm just like, okay, it's like king takes rook, bishop takes pawn, knight takes what's the other one? Knight takes queen. Something like that. It just gives me that type of vibe. So I'm just like, okay, Luther has been studying Superman for all his life. But I was like, how did he study him all his life? What did he do because I feel like Lex
Lex is like a
Luthor was a
stalker.
stalker. He's
That
like,
could
I
be.
like
That
you,
could be.
Superman. I want everything about you. I need
Yeah.
everything about you. I'm
That
like,
that
okay,
that in
dude.
itself, I do agree
Yeah.
with. I feel like it's Lex Luthor. Through satellite recordings, through image
Yep.
findings, through even just videos across Metropolis. Lex
Yeah.
has probably won. This is not his first encounter. Like this is not our first encounter with Lex. This is our first brand new encounter with Lex Luthor. This version of Lex Luthor played by
Mm-hmm.
said actor. They got history together. They got history
Yeah.
of each other. And
Yep.
Lex has been studying him for so long that he's like, okay, Superman's tactics is to fly this way, punch like this.
Mm-hmm.
His tactics is to kick like this, move like this with super speed in the air. Okay, copy. So this is
Right.
all his move sets. So he's probably analyzed it through cameras, visuals, his own company's satellites. If Lex is as hateful and evil as he is going to strategize how many different points of view I can see this man fight a creature, monster, anything, and how many times can I see him use the same move set over and over again. Knowing Lex Luthor, he had to probably calculate 1 to 1 million times, maybe like 70 million, to see if Superman is one, a creature of habit. How many times does he does this? How many times does he does this? When this doesn't work, does he do this? You know what I'm saying? Kind of like that.
Right.
And I do like the chess idea. He uses chess moves with the combinations of the fighting combat moves for each and every person in that room. Not bad.
Correct. Yeah, because it's like tactical. Like he used tactical counters. That's what it is. Like I feel like because as you're saying, like he studied everything about Superman, and the fact that he knew all his moves because just by seeing how Superman fights, he was able to like have a different counter. It's just literally like what's his name? Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins. Full
Meliodas, yeah.
counter.
Full counter.
Yeah, it's like that. That's pretty much what it was. The vibe it was giving, and I'm like, holy crap! But another thing that I was wondering why Angela, the engineer, why was she at the Fortress of Solitude? Because I feel like they were trying to find Superman's home, and she was doing recon, like she was scouting his home. Because remember when she said that Superman's coming back, and I'm going back to what we were talking about before, of how Superman got his ass beat. and the robots are telling him like, you just got beat by 86%. 86%. So I'm just like, I feel like it was just a distraction. They wanted to lure Superman out, by getting his butt kicked, get healed, and come back.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
Because
now,
he does. Lex's whole goal is to find Superman's home, find his weaknesses, and exploit them.
yes, exactly. He's literally just a weird stalker, but just like the extreme rich stalker. Like honestly, and what got me to the fact that it was just like Lex hate metahumans. He hates aliens. He hates because like he feels like he's is supposed to be top tier. He's like no one in this planet should be better than me. Dude's literally like the person we have in today's society. I'm not saying names, but it's just like like this is getting really out of hand. It's getting really because like it kind of feels like what's happening here. But then I just questioned so many things going on in the situation. Seeing how all this transpired, and they found the Fortress of Solitude, but they couldn't get in. You get what I'm saying? They couldn't get in. But before then, after let me see, after Angela, not did I say Angela or Angelica? Is it Angelica?
I think you said. I'm not even sure. Angelica, maybe you said
I think
Angela.
yeah, Angela. Yeah, the engineer. I just call her engineer for short, because that's her actual, name.
Moniker, yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like she was human, and I remember she saying that she sacrificed her body in order for meta humans to not be able to control anything, because you never know, there be some evil meta humans and some good meta humans, but you know how that goes.
Most
If you're
definitely.
someone that if you're someone that's super powerful and everything, they'll look at you and perceive you differently. Hey,
Yeah, I feel
can you
like
say
that's. I feel like this. So I think from the James Gunn perspective, metahumans have always been a talking point when it comes to the CW's versions of superheroes. Oh, excuse me, and Young Justice. It's
yeah,
metahumans, for anyone who knows, are basically genetic, let's say mutants for the DC universe. You got Static, you got Gear, you got other characters like Connor could be called a metahuman technically, but he's a clone of Superman,
right,
Aqualad, Beast Boy, anybody else from like Young Justice or Teen Titans could be concerned as a metahuman. Kid Flash as a metahuman. What's his name? I'm trying to remember Slade Wilson's son's name. Could be called a metahuman. I forget his name. Terra, a metahuman. Basically,
Terra's a metahuman. Yeah,
Terra is definitely metahuman. Basically, DC metahumans have their own origin story. In Young Justice, their origin stories come from Vandal Savage. He's the first ever technically metahuman ever, hit by the meteor, changed by its rays, and throughout genetic history and out time, all the metahumans are basically passed down from him. That's Young Justice story. However, the rest of the DC comic story is different. But it seems that a lot of the people that joined Lex seem to despise metahumans like the Engineer. And for some
yes,
reason,
exactly.
my thought process on that was, if you sacrificing your body just to like take out Superman and so-called other threats, to me is crazy. I think even Mr. Terrific would not be considered a metahuman, but he's a super genius.
Oh,
However that
so
works. So yeah, but yeah.
I'm gonna say this, Mr. Terrific. He gives me Brainiac. He gives me like Tony Stark. He gives me that type of vibe. But the thing is, he doesn't process human emotions like that as much.
Empathy, what you
Because
mean? He's not giving out empathy.
exactly,
Yeah,
thank you.
he said it. He was like, if you're like, when Lois was talking to him, fast forwarding into like the movie, he was like, are you trying to talk to me? I'm not good with this. I'm not doing it with you. You know what I mean? And she was just rambling
Right,
off.
right.
And then the funniest part of the movie, he gave if anyone can find the clip the funniest part in the movie for me is when Lois says, I was going to break up with him. And then he turned around like the most blackest face, like, He was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You were gonna break up with the most powerful man in the world. he did
I
he did the blackest thing ever. Like, you are a crazy. Everything he said in that moment was, he didn't say nothing, but his face was priceless. It was every black person collectively like, girl, you were gonna break up with the what? Are you white women?
but I don't have no comment to that. But what I can tell you, honestly, to the other part, because you talk about Lois. Here's the thing about Lois. So I was questioning, like, after Clark wasn't at the Daily Planet, right? I'm like, okay, he's at Daily Planet. Of course, no one knows Clark is Superman. I'm
The
like,
glasses,
the
yeah.
glasses, you know? So it's just like, okay, something about them glasses. I don't know what it is. Is there something in it is magical? I do not know. But come on.
Is usually it's stated in older comics that when he puts the glasses on, it hides his identity, but it makes people see somebody else. So
Oh,
basically,
really?
yeah. So the glasses make people believe and see through whoever what he looks like. Once he takes the glasses off, because Superman's alter ego is Clark Kent.
Right.
And Clark Kent is supposed to be scrawny, weak, minuscule. He's supposed to make himself look smaller. So with the glasses, that kind of adds on because he looks like a nobody. He's a faceless person. So the glasses
Yeah.
in comics make people see what they want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's Clark
Right.
Kent. He's this weirdo looking little, like, scrawny little shithead. You know what I mean? He's
Right.
almost looks very weak in everyone's eyes. It fools everybody, including Lex Luthor. It fools every single person in the comic books. Until, obviously he opens up, tells Lois, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Batman
Yeah,
finds out. Yeah.
that's the thing I was trying to find. I was trying to question. Like in the movie, Lois already knows who Superman is because I was asking
Because
myself, like,
eventually he told her, yeah.
yeah, but I was like, in the movie, you don't see her. You don't see him telling her. She already knows already
Yeah.
when she got home, and I'm like, Clark is cooking something and everything else. But I was like, in the first. In the Daily Planet, what caught my attention because I read like body languages and people face expressions was like Lois was asking, like, who are you? Just by looking at it, like, who are you exactly? But then when it cuts off to Lois going home, and then Clark's in the kitchen making food and everything. So they're pretty much like they're fucking, but you already know. But then I was just like, okay, so Clark already told Lois who he is, and she already
Right.
knows he's Superman. So then then there was like this heartful conversation where she's like, okay, I want to interview Superman. And I was like, okay, now it's making sense. So
Yeah. When
Lois already
Clark
knows.
says, yo, you want to interview Superman? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do an actual interview.
Yeah.
It gets a little serious, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was just like, to a point where, hashtag super shit.
Corniest thing in the world. I'm not even going to lie to you. Corniest thing in the
Yeah.
world.
It was funny, but you already know who came up to. We can't tell you right now. It's later down the line. But it was to a fact where it was just like Superman was trying to say like I'm trying to save people. I not trying, but I've been saving people. To the fact that I don't want to see people hurt. I don't want to see the world go into chaos, into destruction. All I want to do is save people and live up to my parents' words.
True.
So that's the thing. Because in the beginning, well, I'll say like maybe like 5 minutes in the video or 5 minutes in the movie, you see in the message that was left for Clark, his parents says that they want him to completely protect the world, everything else like that, live by, good and everything else, But then down the line,
The message is corrupted, yeah.
yeah, the message is corrupted. So another thing I also I remember was Gorkos. I think Gorkos from the I think he's a dictator or something. Maybe he's a dictator. I don't know. The
Oh, yeah,
president.
of Bolivia, yeah. Or like the other country next to
The other
Bolivia.
side. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He was denying the involvement of the attack of Superman and the citizens of Metropolis, and I'm just like, that's kind of sus. It's kind of weird. I feel like he's working with Lex Luthor because for him to deny that, because seeing how they hammer up Olivia and then you see Gorkos working together and stuff like that, something is going on. They're doing things to incriminate Superman and trying to take something out of him, and then this was happening because Superman did meet him before. He did. He's like, even in the interview, like, I put him in so I'm in the desert. I put him near a cactus. Just little spikes and all.
Yeah, kind of do a little Batman, I'm threatening you, like, chill out, or, just kind of put fear in his heart. Superman doesn't kill. His routine is, I'm not killing nobody. No. This is different from Zack Snyder's version, where he snapped Henry Cavill's Man of Steel snapped Zod's neck, which I find a lot to be like, that doesn't make sense to me, but okay.
Nah, he just gave him a little nice internal slumber. He'll be alright.
Yeah. This version would just be like, I'm pushing the line, but I'm obviously not gonna kill you. Everybody knows that. So that's Superman's motto. But just so this dictator can chill out, because he was doing the most to Bolivia. He was doing the most. I'm not even gonna lie.
But here's the thing, though. Because of this whole situation, right? This has caused a lot of conflict. And then Lex went to the Pentagon to show the people, like, listen, I've made a team called Planet Watch. Okay? Planet Watch is to literally control all metahumans. To put them in places that, we have, like, certain ways to make sure nothing for domestic or foreign to literally be in our country or in our world, because Lex Luthor, alien racism. So that's what pretty much happened. But then what caught my attention was the fact that he used engineer, he used that Hammer Bolivia, but after Hammer Bolivia we don't know who he is, because the guy, he reminds me of what's his name from what's that show from The Boys. He was wear all black, he doesn't talk, he's mute.
Black Noir.
Thank you, Black Noir. I was just like, I'm getting some Black Noir vibes.
Which, anyone who knows the comics, Black Noir is a clone of Homelander, who makes Homelander go crazy in the comics, because he was eating babies and doing all this crazy stuff, and Homelander was like, well, maybe this is me. It's like, okay, of course it is.
I started to ask myself this question, because how the hell did Clark Kent got his ass beat by another person? And it's just like, okay, because then remember, Superman went to have an interview with Lois. The interview was like 35% sour, because just by looking how things went. But then after a situation, Lex Luthor attacked Superman's home. They got his home. They attacked
the fortress.
The Fortress of Solitude, attacked his home, attacked Crypto, and then Angelica, or aka the engineer, she destroyed his helpers, and Ultraman and Engineer goes in, destroys half the place, half the robots and everything. Engineer hacks Superman's computer, and then she was able to finally decrypt the message.
She said it would take some time for her to decrypt the message, and eventually they did. Now, my problem with this was, one, Crypto was supposed to die in this movie. It was stated that Crypto was supposed to die, but it did not go well with the audience review. And personally, I think it was supposed to be an impactful thing, but some people don't like animals dying. My second gripe with this is the decryption of the message seemed very, I'm gonna say this for perspective, was like some Viltrumite shit. I'm gonna be real, because when he decrypted it, I thought it was fake. And then they asked Lex Luthor, wow, it's crazy you put out that fake message about Superman, after they defeat some giant creature with the help of Guy Gardner's Green Lantern, Hawkwoman, and Mr. Terrific in the city, because Lex lets out this giant little creature after him and after Superman, Clark Kent, and Lois were arguing about what is right and what is wrong, and what you should be doing by the books and not by the books story.
Yes,
so
correct.
The one problem with that was, I'm kind of skipping a little bit. Clark feels that he is right on what he did, which is true. It's right to save people in any way possible, any means necessary, because he has the means. If he did nothing, people will look at him like, you did nothing to help. Like, what is wrong with you? And then if he did something, it's still backlash. You know what I'm saying? Damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation. Then now, when Lex decoded the message, Clark defeated the creature that Mr. Terrific eventually put the orbs in it and blew it up. He was like, oh, we could have saved it and I could have sent it to some intergalactic zoo. Mr. Terrific rolls his eyes because obviously Clark is a Boy Scout. His classic moniker is Boy Scout. Because
he's a pacifist.
Yeah, but it's the fact that it's like, what do we do with this thing that is taking damage, getting stronger by the minute? But I love when the creature steps in, because Clark saves the little girl, saves the squirrel, the dog pissing, saves the old people, saves as many people as possible. And that is his...
Wait, question. The dog wasn't pissing, he was barking.
Right, my bad. I thought it was peeing. I kind of forgot that.
No. He kind of like blew the dog to the side.
Yeah, the dog, the people, he was saving anybody and everybody he could. That's how quick he was. My favorite part of the beginning of the movie is when he gets smacked by the Hammer of Bolivia and gets saved by the halal guy, the hot dog stand dude. And this part, I think, screams a good message to the audience is, let me help you up, Superman. He's like, oh, I think his name was Bagash or whatever. You gotta get out of here. He was like, you save us all the time. This is at least something that we can do to help you. And this is in a certain part of the movie, fast forwarding. Once they defeat this creature, the message goes out that basically Clark is here to have a harem of women to rule over the world and basically bring back Krypton. Lex says this.
Yeah, literally Viltrumites. Literally
Viltrumites. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And Lex says, I did not alter the message. And the part of me is like, no. There is something that he altered. He's like, no, I didn't alter it. Which in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't like that. I feel like that's shitty. But if that's in the Superman, Man of Tomorrow book, like if that's in that book, if that's in that description, if this in that series, that's fine with me. I don't care. But I don't like that because we're coming off the backs of Invincible, the Viltrumites. We're coming off of that. You know what I'm saying? As comic book readers, fans, cartoon watchers, I'm coming right off of the, wow, I'm here to mass produce, breed, and take over your Earth. Like, what are we talking about right now?
I'm here to clap every woman's cheeks.
Like, what are we talking about right now?
Yeah, it's just like, nah.
But
go ahead.
Once that happens, Superman goes back to the crib. He sees this Fortress Solitude is damaged. Number 4 has been damaged. The dog has been taken. He runs up. He presses Lex. Where's the dog? And he basically says...
And that was the biggest mistake, though. That was the biggest mistake.
He's using a lot of emotion. People didn't like him using all that emotion, all that aggression, all of that anger. A lot of people didn't like that from the comic movie. But I kind of said to myself, but that's the most human part of his character.
Yes, it is.
One, he states, that's not his dog. And 2, it's a dog. Why are you taking the dog? You could have, beat my robots. You destroyed, you copied my message, but you took my dog? That don't make any, what's the point of that? But obviously, Lex eventually doesn't tell him something, but I love the way Lex mumbles under his breath as he takes a sip. The one with the stupid cape. He takes a sip.
I saw that. I was like, oh, wow.
One with the stupid cape. He takes the sip, and he's like, well, I heard you. I heard what you said. And as the girl records Superman, that's the part that takes me. And then something with this movie, because we're not reviewing the whole movie here. We're kind of going by. Yeah, we're going by bit by bit. As he gets kind of called out, people hate him. He has to turn himself in. Eventually,
and that's when people are being biased, though. That's the thing. It's like, y'all go into something that you guys just saw, but y'all don't even think like if this is real or not. But then it's just automatically, we hate you, Superman. You suck. All this. I used to be a fan, but you suck. I hope you rot in hell. I'm like, damn. Like that quickly turned from.
That is true though. But it's the classic. Geez. It's the classic. You're the hero today. You're the villain tomorrow.
Yeah. Long enough to be the hero, then later to become the villain. That's pretty much what they're trying to do.
You live long enough to see yourself as you live long enough as a hero, see yourself become the villain. It is that, Christopher Nolan type of quote. But this is, people will turn on you just because they don't know all the information, and that is quite literally how people work. Like that's the most people can be programmed by anything you see, any messaging out there. You don't know the factual information, but you're taking what you see. That in itself, to me, was like, yeah, that's the most human experience. He got dealt with the most like F you type of situation, because he's like, I was saving all you people, but yeah, they turned on you. The guy that once he turned himself in, he put the handcuffs. Once before that, even Guy Gardner and all of the Justice Gang looks at him as like, is that true? He's like, no, I don't know. The message was corrupted. I'm not sure. There's a lot there. And then when he turns himself in, I love it how the military themselves take it upon themselves to say yes to Lex Luthor's deal. One, they use Ultraman to restrain Superman, like smash him into the ground with excessive force. I was about to say that's a police reference, like excessive force, police, police, help, police, help. That is to me the funniest situation there, because you don't need. He's like, I'm coming in of my own accord. You don't need to use this much force. And then they lock him away in another dimension that has no sun with, I forget his name. What's his name?
I got you. It is Metamorpho.
So this is our first look at Metamorpho, which I love Metamorpho as a character, because he can basically take anything and turn it into, like, use his body and transform something, like create something.
Right.
And then as he kept in there, Superman's first thought was like, why you, Lex, I can get out of here. And he's like, okay, cool, yeah. There's no more kryptonite, right? Psych! Metamorpho creates it out of his hand. And I'm just like, this is crazy. And what you see is they're holding his baby They're captured his baby, which I thought the baby was like part of Metamorpho. Like, I was like, what? I didn't know Metamorpho had a kid, but I think it's for the story.
Me too.
I'm not sure.
Is. But I was like, who he was busting? What chicks was he busting?
I'm
like, damn.
I'm like, you gave birth to that? Or is that part of you? Is that your inner child? Like, I was asking so many questions. Like, I didn't know he had a kid.
Because the one animal that can bring birth in the ocean is a seahorse.
Yeah, so I was like, did he create that? Yeah, I was like, in the back of my mind, did he create that? Did he transform his body? Like, that what caught me.
But he did remind me of the engineers from the movie Alien, like Prometheus. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie.
I was thinking of that as well for a second. So I loved the fact that they had Metamorpho, but in the entire black hole, other dimension that Lex Luthor's crazy ass created, he's holding everyone captured. His ex-girlfriend, anybody and everybody who sided with Superman. And I'm just like, people who wrote a bad vlog about him. First of all, Lex Luthor in this is the most unhinged person in the world. He's not just unfreaking hinged. He's also like, boy, why are you capturing?
He's a bully.
Why are you capturing your ex-girlfriend who broke up with you? And boy, if you don't he put her. The Pocket Universe caught me off guard. I said, "Oh, you one of those type of guys that just can't get." Look, don't get me wrong. I've been like, I went through a 6-year breakup. You know what I mean? I broke up with somebody. It was crazy. Nicholas Hoult, who plays Lex Luthor, I couldn't believe it, but I believe it when he was going hard than I've ever seen in my life. Like, motherfucker was going hard in the paint to express what Lex Luthor was as a character, like a dickhead, but
a bully, a narcissist, ego,
so obsessive to the point where it's like he says at some point in the movie he's not obsessive, he's worried about humans. Basically, for his grand design is, I'm worried that humans are relying on a threat that will one day become a threat, that if we don't see as a threat, we rely on him to the point when he dies or he's defeated, we have nothing else to back ourselves up with. And his mind is, I'm like Tony Stark, I'm thinking of the armor around the earth. His contingency is not just for Superman, but for anything else that if I could build something, create something to beat Superman, Whatever's next, I could take it on because my technology defeated Superman. And the world relied on Superman. That made us weak as humans because now we're relying on these meta freaks in his mind that are saving us. Why don't we rely on our humanity's human skills? But then again, you turn the engineer who gave up her body into a machine. Personally, I found it pathetic in my mind. I found his efforts to be, I'm working with mankind against people who are still, at the end of it, freaking human. Mind you. And to move past the reason why Metamorpho is keeping Superman captured and Lois looking for him, which then we get the best scene from Mr. Terrific after she steps into the Hall of Justice, where there's a mural on the wall that's been broken down online. Go check it out. The mural on the wall explains every superhero before DC became DC. So there's a mural on the wall of every single superhero. And I watched videos that break down every superhero on that wall of the Hall of Justice, which the Hall of Justice is actual real place. Like, it was based on a real place, which is so cool. And I'm looking in the back to see the members of the Justice Society, which was the first ever superheroes, first ever speedster, first ever like super Green Lantern, so much there, so much history. And where I'm kind of confused how the Justice Gang aren't called the Justice League or
I was thinking that too.
Or the Justice Society. You know what I'm saying? There's no name for them by Justice Gang, which I'm just kind of like, okay, maybe they're pitching that. In the future, we're going to get a Justice League movie. We get the Justice League. Maybe we're working on that. We're working on a title that sticks. She goes in. She talks to them. Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion, the best, kills me. He even talks about, the man of the cloth. And she's like, what? Oh, yeah, he revealed his secret identity to us. But the man of the cloth, like the suit, the cape. Because, to preference this as much as possible. I keep using the word preference. To be real with this, Superman, cape, superheroes, if they were real, the motherfuckers would be smashing and running. Because you can't have a partner. If the superheroes are real, you couldn't be dating. Because your wife, girlfriend, lesbian, gay brother would be dead. You could not have a relationship if superheroes were real. You will only be able to date other superheroes. I'm going to be dead ass with you. Because a secret identity looks like it's the hardest thing to keep up because Lois was wildin'. Mr. Terrific eventually, which I find very weird, he puts trackers in people's blood. He's tracking everybody.
It's true. That's what he said. That's what friends do. I put all trackers on my friends. I'm like, oh
no. That is the most. Kind of I heard that. That was the most invasive. That's the most invasion of privacy thing I've ever heard. And I was like, you, my friend, are weird. But I feel like he has zero social skills. But it's just fine because he's a genius. He's a tech genius. He's done a lot.
He reminds me, no offense to everybody hates Chris fans out here, but he reminds me of Chris's father, Terry Crews. If you're going to sleep, I'm going to be there. If you're going to eat, I'm going to be there. If you're going to read a book,
reminds you of Julius? He reminds you of Julius?
Yes, he does. Because I'm like, he knows everything you're doing. If you have a tracker on you, I'm going to be there. I know where you at.
Yeah.
24/7, 20 days a week. 20 days a week. No, 365 days a week. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. But
yeah.
After they find Superman, they find him in an unstable black hole with another dimension created by Lex. Eventually,
don't forget the monkey bots.
The monkey robots, Crypto running on flying super squirrels because they're tracking him. Eventually, Clark tries to convince Metamorpho to let him go. Metamorpho obviously puts that kryptonite to his body and says, if you let me go, I can save your son. And then he thinks about it. But this is before the hot dog dude who saved Superman, Lex brings him. And when the most creepiest thing ever, Lex brings the hot dog guy in front of Superman, in front of Clark, and says, basically, just tell me everything about you. Just tell me. Tell me who you are. Tell me. And just just basically be a snitch. Snitch on yourself. And Clark does the Riley, from Boondocks. Stop snitching. No, the hot dog dude says, don't tell him nothing. Don't give him nothing. Don't do nothing, Superman. And it's just like, please don't do it. The guy just fed me one time. And then Lex eventually is playing Russian roulette, pulls the trigger. Second one, boom, he dead. And then he's like, I'm going to bring, funniest part of the movie, side note, is he says, I'm going to bring every single person that you have talked to, chatted with, helped, whatever, I'm going to bring them here and kill them in front of you. Maybe I might bring that Clark Kent person. Yes, I was dead. I was like, those glasses work so well that Lex Luthor can never see through it. And I'm just like, 12 the most smartest man. No, like, crazy.
Like, even the most egotistic, narcissistic man in the whole universe, he don't even know that's Clark.
Can't even see. Schmack. Is crazy to me. After all that, Metamorpho does help. He creates not an artificial sun. I think it's like a Big Bang. He creates something in there that gives sunlight back to Clark, saves the child, gets them out of there, saves Crypto. Then it gets stuck, and then I think the guards, Ultraman, something happens that they get stuck fighting a bunch of creatures. They just basically end up fighting some creatures. They get stuck. No. What were they fighting?
No, they were fighting the Raptors, the people who are in the suits.
Right. The ones that the one that he created for the Earth defense, right?
Yeah, the Planet Watch. He was fighting those people.
Got it.
Yeah.
He fought them, fell inside of like this unstable pool of like energy, which is basically from the black hole. Then they're ending up in a black hole.
River. Yeah, river. I think
it's a river. Pocket universe river, right? Yeah. They fell in there. They about to fall into a black hole of nothingness in the most gangsta way. Clark's holding the baby, got Crypto, and just blows. And then pushes them back. And I said, he's so strong that he just blew himself out of a black hole. Pause! This man's amazing.
But you're missing one part. The fact that when happened was when Superman was fighting with the Raptors, and then, was holding the baby and everything else. And then out of nowhere, after he defeated one of them, and then the black hole came up, he's calling Crypto. Crypto came, was licking the baby. And all that stuff. But then, the black hole was pulling Superman, the baby, and Crypto. Metamorpho came up. Metamorpho came up and trying to pick Superman up. But at that moment, Superman had enough energy to switch his body facing forward to the black hole and use his breath and just blow all that air out of his lungs and get out. So then, mind you, I'm going back to the scene about Mr. Terrific. When Mr. Terrific agreed to help Lois Lane to go find Superman, and that scene and everything else, Mr. Terrific was saying this quote, if I'm saying word to word, "Why the hell is this dude making a pocket
dimension?
No, not pocket dimension. Pocket universe. He actually created a pocket universe. He actually created the device, because then if you notice in the device, anytime someone uses this, it opens a space rift, and it opens it rips apart the universe every time you're using it. So in that situation, Mr. Terrific knew that if Lex is using this multiple times, it's gonna cause problems into like the whole, dimension itself.
It's gonna cause problems for their universe, yeah.
So then in the situation, space-time continuum is gonna cause a rift, and it's gonna cause a tear. It's just like in the movie Loki, not the movie, the TV show Loki. Messing with different timelines, all that stuff, it caused a different tier, all that. Now, my thing is, right, I do feel like we're seeing how the pocket universe was actually a good little added bonus into this movie, because it's just like, okay, where all these people are going to, how is this happening? Why is Lex acting like, egotistic, narcissist, bully? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this
A
happening?
dickhead,
But
yeah.
then, yeah, and I'm just asking myself, okay, there's a reason why. He wants to be the number one person in the world. Even so, he cares about humanity in a way, quote unquote, in his own way. But the way he plays out comes out like a really evil person. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then not only seeing that, you know, Mr. Terrific um also sees that Lex is nothing but just a baby, like a child. Because how he acts, he has money, he's smart, but the fact is, he doesn't know how to control his emotions in any way. He really, 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 like I say, the alien racism really hate metahumans to the
So,
fullest extent.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, for the most part, fast forward on this, the movie was
Yeah,
good. A
he was
lot
good.
of character development there. A lot of people didn't. A lot of people's complaints was basically Superman defeats Ultraman, which is a clone of himself. Lex gets thrown into jail, has a little hissy fit. I don't think 100% this was Lex Luthor. This version of Lex Luthor would have been crying, bitching, screaming. I didn't like those parts of Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is calm, precise, calculated. He is very not moving with his emotions. This was a very more emotional Lex Luthor. When he even lost, he was a little bitch about it. Didn't like that.
Oh,
But go ahead.
I was gonna say pretty much like the girl who takes selfies. The reason why she was taking
Oh
selfies
yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
she was the Amy
She was
Source's.
basically Jimmy Olsen's side chick, helping him
Hmm.
out with information to basically blackmail Lex Luthor and find out, hey, he's doing all these evil things with the help of this, this, and this, and Lex is a bad guy, and she's been taking selfies, basically looking like she's stupid, but just taking a selfie of everything he is doing. Which
Yeah.
honestly, I don't. They didn't explain how Jimmy Olsen's a chick magnet, which confused the shit out of me. But he's a chick magnet. And he's just trying to like work and like I'm trying to make money and work and just get the scoop. Okay, I didn't really find that to be interesting. I found that to be a little weird. Like Jimmy Olsen's been a chick magnet. Okay, I guess. But this girl was obsessed with him. Like she's like I don't. I she was like I would leave Lex Luthor for you. Okay,
Yes,
what's the
she did until
reasons?
Lex heard everything.
What's the reasons? Like, there
I
was,
mean,
I don't know. Jimmy West just had the charm and energy, but he just looks like
he got the swagger. He
he
got the
looks,
swag.
I'm gonna be real. The actor playing Jimmy Olsen and the Jimmy Olsen in this movie is mid. I was like, there's nothing compelling or cute about you, bro. I don't get it. But that's maybe the
Hmm.
story's joke. Like, maybe that's how it is. Like, Jimmy Olsen, how does he do it? No one knows. He has no idea either. So,
Okay,
it's like Clark's glasses. You don't know it's fucking Superman. Jimmy Olsen
that's
don't know
what
how
you
he
like.
gets bitches. So she basically is the foil to everything. Ultraman finds out, blah blah blah, and eventually that time rift that we talked about is starting to break up after Superman gets free. It starts to rip across Metropolis, rip across everything. Big fight
Yep.
scene with Superman, the engineer, and Ultraman. He used this girl like a rag doll. He finally finds out what Ultraman is, which is a clone who's dumber.
Yep.
Which the clone gets defeated, sent to the black hole. My theory on the clone would be the clone becomes Bizarro, or the clone becomes Doomsday. My theory on the clone that Superman could fly into a black hole and be fine, or
Yeah.
die maybe because there's no sunlight, but this is a clone of him that's also taking him on that dies, just ends up dead. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, that's it. Just throw in a black hole and he's gone. But I'm like, what if he comes out the other end? What if he comes out into another universe or dimension or whatever and gets transformed into Doomsday? That's my theory. The people find out Lex has been using everything against Superman. They defeat all of Lex's robots. Guy Gardner, Hawkwoman, and Mr. Terrific both end up in Bolivia where they're calling out for Superman and they help out the people. And Hawkwoman, funniest shit ever, kills the dictator of the other side. And there's a lot of
Yeah.
similarities, a lot of patterns to this for obviously what's happening in the real world. I don't want to say it. you all probably guessed it by the movie.
Can see it for themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you've seen the movie, you already guessed what they were making similarities to, what they were drawing similarities from the real world about is, because that's usually what most movies do. And this movie got people mad that Superman was an alien. I was like, go touch grass. He's a literal alien from outer space. That's what they were saying. Like, come on. And then people were like, oh, but he's an immigrant. I'm like, well, he technically is a freaking immigrant who landed on American soil. But, long story short, the movie was good. It landed heavy, strong. There was probably some parts that didn't make sense to people, like the opening. But James Gunn was like, when we get into this movie, it's just like opening up a comic book. I like that. I like that part of it because it was a comic book story. But then you also have to still feed that to comic book fans and then a regular general audience. But, they skipped the origin story, which, okay. And it was fun. It was still a fun movie. Moving forward, Fantastic Four: First Steps. What'd you think of the movie?
Okay, let's do it. Hold on, give me a second. I got you. All right. So you want to start off?
Yes. So moving to the Fantastic Four, what did you like about it? What were like? Because Fantastic Four: First Steps, it did really well. I liked the movie. I liked the concept of this movie stepping in. We're stepping into Marvel's first family with director Matt Shakman. Did a good job, I think. We haven't seen the Fantastic Four since 2005, 2006, like Rise of the Silver Surfer.
I don't remember.
Like we haven't, a long time. We haven't seen the Fantastic Four for that long, and it's been a minute. Like it's woo. Let me see. Hold on. Excuse me.
It's been a hot minute because years, different. The ones that was bad, it was the one
2007, and then I understand there was Fantastic Four stick where Michael B. Jordan and all of them in 2015.
That one was bad.
Okay, Josh Trank, who made that one. I love Josh Trank. I like Chronicle. I like things that he works on. Cloverfield. I just felt like Fox took that, shredded it, did too much with it. It felt so edited and so bad. I was mad at it myself. I watched it. I liked it for what it was. I was just mad that it felt like they edited so much. They clipped. They went around. They did things that I felt like if y'all didn't pay attention to the the actors knew about the comics. Come on. The actors knew about it. The director, I felt like whoever was overhead just did something that they weren't supposed to do. If there's a Josh Trank cut of Fantastic Four stick, hopefully be out there. Fantastic Four: First Steps. They skipped the origin story. I didn't like that. They give us a brief breakdown. That 5-minute joint is on YouTube. You can watch that yourselves. We get the FF. We get Reed looking for a pregnancy test or looking for something. Sue's taking a piss and they're pregnant. My first thing about this is they go through the history. They go through all the villains. Mole Man, Red Scarlet, something like that. A giant fighting a monkey. They go through the Fantastic Four history. They don't ever mention Doctor Doom, except for one part of the movie, which is Latveria. Susan Storm is basically a peacekeeper. She helps with maintaining peace in the world and countries and stuff like that. She works at the World Summit. I said, okay, I like that because I guess this Fantastic Four was more focused on protecting the Earth, keeping everything okay, and they didn't in the comics it's Mr. Fantastic working on inventions and doing stuff like that. And Susan is kind of not really doing anything but keeping the house clean and working at home or doing.
What's his name? Little robot name. I forgot his name.
Herbie.
Yeah, Herbie.
Herbie doing Herbie.
No, Herbert. Herbie.
No, it's Herbie.
Herbie? Herbert.
Herbie.
Okay.
Herbie doing all of the house stuff. I said, okay, Herbie. And the cartoons were supposed to replace Johnny Storm, in the old school cartoons. That's why for a while we didn't have Johnny Storm, but we have Johnny Storm and Herbie in the same place, which to me
Okay.
is interesting. The one thing about this version I believe I liked is that we see the Fantastic Four saving people. The world loves them. We see the
Yeah.
family dynamic. They never miss lunch on Sundays. There are a lot of things in this movie that are not the trailer that were put in trailers that are not in the movie. This movie is probably at some point heavily edited down to what they had, what their runtime was, because there were characters that did not show up. There were things that did not happen. And I was very interested about that. But moving forward on, there's a message from space. Johnny's not dumb in this movie, is what I found out. He's not the suave ladies man. He's that, but they give him more ingenuity. Ben Grimm is the best pilot. He's like the best pilot scientist because Reed Richards went into space with the best people who have their own abilities. Ben Grimm, the best pilot. Johnny Storm, I'm guessing able to decode and not just a pretty face. And Susan Storm, whatever her talents and abilities are. And Mr. Fantastic, the smartest man in the world. I didn't like that they skipped the origin story. Once again, I complain about that. Same thing with Superman. A lot of people aren't liking the skips and said origin stories. But I do agree we're cutting down time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because basically it's like the thing about the whole Fantastic Four First Steps. It's based on a 1960s, and it's retro
1960
futuristic.
comics, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the reason why from Earth 828. So I do like the fact that they did that, but
I like the little futuristic stuff because back in the past it's almost like the Jetsons or like how they're like, oh, this is what the future is gonna be for Earth at some point with like historical type of monuments like the world of tomorrow type of energy.
yeah.
I did like those things. Those things were kind of added into that world. I enjoyed that. It was pretty interesting for the most part. Continue.
And I just want to add this though, real quick, because I know that. But the thing is, I do like the fact a little cameo that I'm gonna say, and it's a little different, but it did remind me of the Mole Man from Incredible, because how that went from the Attack in the Company up
Oh, okay.
seeing the Fantastic Four. Those two is it kind of gives me that type of vibe. So yeah, I'm just gonna say that part
I
because it
feel
was really
you.
cool to see. Yeah, yeah.
I did like the moment was played by the actor from from Cobra Kai. I did like the fact that he was in this movie. He has beef with Reed Richards, but he likes Susan Storm. Susan Storm seems to be always like in comics someone that she is always and people get infatuated with her. If it's Namor, it's Doctor Doom, it's Mole Man, it's this person, it's this person. Susan Storm must just have that type of. She must just have unspoken riz for herself.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
They mention Latveria when Susan Storm is trying to keep peace and keep everything done. Talk to all the countries in the world. Latveria is mentioned. We get the flag. We never get Doctor Doom. We never get the Fantastic Four mentioning Doom, mentioning Latveria, mentioning Victor. We never get that. We never get
No.
him being a part of their accident. It's a very weird thing. Or Mr. Fantastic being in college and the experiment that happened. You know what I'm saying? We never
Right.
get that history. So we'll just fast forward to it, which is, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. That's just leaving more to mystery. Just like Superman, audiences should know these characters. I get it. But for fans of these comics, you should also be laying that groundwork because we expect it. It's just simple as that. Audience won't, which is okay, but fans expect it. Basically, they find out Sue is pregnant because her and Reed just can't keep it together. Johnny is happy. Johnny longs for outer space and adventures. I like that aspect because he's an adventurer. He keeps that moniker that the Fantastic Four are about is adventure, exploring universes because that's their whole shtick in it. And then when the message comes through from space, he's decoding the crap out of that message, which I kind of like. Once again, the aspect of Johnny not being stupid. Ben Grimm being the. I love the one dude in the street. Hey, it's clobbering time. He's like, it's only in the cartoon. I don't say that. But it's the
That's it,
thing.
Sam.
it's the thing to the thing. I was like, oh my god. Best part about it, in that 5-minute trailer on YouTube where they talk about the Fantastic Four, you get to see the old school 1978 movie Fantastic Four appear in that opening. So the old school Fantastic Four appear in there, which is beautiful.
Right.
Shout outs to them. Ben Grimm meets somebody who was basically based off of, was it Steve Ditko? Steve Ditko's wife. She's I forget her name. The girl, you know her name?
I forgot her name too, actually, because like she was talking like the kids and stuff, and then
Yeah, she was the teacher.
yeah, because I was saying I was kind of laughing. I was like, the thing is risen up to this lady. Okay, I'm getting bricked up.
Oh my god, no, not brick. No, I hope he never uses the line. I'm getting bricked up. No.
I had to, man. But continue.
This has become a rated R podcast.
It's literally but continue.
Ben meets her. He kind of gets a little shy in front of her. I thought it'd be like Alicia Masters, but it wasn't. She was very interesting. A school teacher. I liked her whole shtick. She was cute. We didn't get enough of her and him and their relationship, which to me would have been nice to see a more breakdown of that relationship on why he liked her, or a little. We only got a glimpse of Ben feeling like he was ugly. He talks to Reed. At some point in the movie where he's like, listen, Stretch, it's okay. I've come to terms with you not finding a way to turn me back to normal. Which for me, as a comic book fan, it's just been Ben Grimm's whole type of struggle with his identity of being a freak, being a monster, being different, an outcast, almost like the Hulk, but different in a way that it's just like, I'm different. I know I'm different, but him being like, I come to terms that you can't solve it. Reed Richards does not feel like the smartest man in the world. He feels like he is smart, but he does not feel like, he feels like it sometimes, but he doesn't. And it's just that he's like, I should be able to solve this. I should be able to get this done. And then it's the thing that Ben says to him. He said, Stretch, you got to think about it. You're not that smart, which blows my fucking mind. If he's the smartest man in the world, and you can't figure out how to turn your friend back to normal. Because in the comics, he's able to do it. Ben is able to go back to normal for one time of the year. Like, out of a week of the year.
Correct. Yes.
But for somehow, you haven't thought about it in the movie? There hasn't, you know what I'm saying? And you're supposed to be the smart... it's contradictory. There's some things he's not able to solve. It's like, him as a character in this movie is limited by the writing of the writers. Per se.
That's the reason why it's like that, because I do feel like they're gonna have a director's cut on DVD or probably Blu-ray just to see all this.
Because I feel like they're limiting him. They're elevating Susan, Johnny, Ben, maybe less Ben, and they elevated Reed in certain parts of this movie, but they denigrated him in different parts. Now we move again.
Agreed.
We move to Shala Ball. I love the line. She comes down, she asks them if they fucking, the heroes of this world, hold your loved ones tight, say your final words, because your time has come. I herald his beginning, I herald his end, I herald in the fucking way she is on that TV. Because she was actually, the actress that played Shala Ball was elevated to the top of like an actual screen, elevated to like a fake Times Square with people, televisions, elevated with a microphone. The actress was elevated up with the standing on the board and saying all this to people. It had a real impact I guess when they were filming it, and it had a real impact in general because that saying has gone viral. There's a dude online dressed as the Silver Surfer saying it. I love it.
He went to the mall. Yeah, he went to the mall and he was wearing riding his skateboard, doing that, and then they kick him out of the mall.
Yo, he was the best out of the like content coming from this is the best. Cosplayers, giving female cosplayers, anybody a chance. I love it. My gripe was I wanted Norn Rad's version of Silver Surfer. They hold on. They're stating that Galactus. There's only one version of Galactus. It seems that but he, for some reason, he hasn't showed up in the regular Earth universe 9199999. He hasn't shown up yet, which is confusing to me if he's a world devourer. Because at some point, Earth should be giving off that gamma energy that, you know what I mean? So there seems to be no Galactus in our main timeline yet. And
Not
there
yet,
seems to be that Shala Ball might be our main Silver Surfer, which I'm kind of like, okay, but where's Norman Rad? Because Fantastic Four, Rise of Silver Surfer did a good job with that character. That's why I want him back.
It did.
It did an incredible job with that character. And even in the first comics, if you're a comic book reader and you love the Silver Surfer, read those first comics. He's very prolific. He's very articulate. He is very much a philosopher, almost like a Jesus figure, a God-like figure, but he's more preachy to how humanity is destroying themselves, how we're greedy, we want more. He is the polar opposite of like, I was trying to think the polar opposite of like a Lex Luthor type who thinks he's almost mentally a god, but he's the polar opposite of how characters are written to be narrators of stories, because as in his first few comics, he does travel this planet and just sees that we're destroying ourselves and blah, blah, blah. That version of the Silver Surfer, I love. I love that Norman Rad version. He's also, because he's iconic, you know what I'm saying? He's just
That's true.
Iconic. Jack Kirby did a good job with it. My bad, Jack Kirby.
I'm just gonna say, like, because I know we have to continue, but the thing is, like, within 19 minutes into the movie, after, Shalabal came through, because, all that stuff, and said what she has to say, because they only had 20 hours before Doomsday, of course.
Yeah.
But then, my thing was when Johnny chased after her, and then it was literally in the exosphere. She said something to him, and that's what caught my attention. Like, what did she say to him in that language that we don't even know about? Later down in the movie, it's like,
basically hold your loved ones and prepare to die. In layman's terms, it's hold your loved ones tight and grab your ass cheeks and prepare to die. She was,
weak. Because I actually went down and tried to look for what she was saying, and it says that. Down it says, like, between Johnny and Shalabal, it was like, you understand these messages, you know my language, we say everything to you, Shalabal. And she asked, how do you know that name, and how did you get these?
When they get to Galactus ship, yep.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, that makes sense, because then she remembers her past, and then after she's serving Galactus,
which is interesting because the Silver Surfer usually. In the animated version or like comics, the Silver Surfer isn't supposed to. I don't know which versions. They usually say he doesn't remember his past. In the first, in the Silver Surfer movie, the cartoon is like his mind was erased, but in comics he remembers who he was, which is interesting. Yeah. I do like that. So they kind of kept the aspect from the comics.
Yeah, because then after for her becoming the Silver Surfer. It was just like crazy. And I ain't gonna lie, I did like the fact that she was surfing in the wormhole while she was chasing them. That shit was actually pretty cool. I was like, they
made her surf on lava. They made her surf on. They made her surf on the light speed that they traveled at. When they said Silver Surfer, they weren't lying when they called her the Silver Surfer.
And she survived the black hole. I was like, I thought she was gone. And that's another thing. I was kind of like, in a recent movie that we was watching, that I was like, okay, that's
Superman just said,
yeah, and she got Silver Surfer's like, I can eat that. I'm good. Like
she got stuck. Reed said she will be stuck for a while. She'll be stuck for a while, but she'll get out of it. So her message was, die with yours.
Die with yours.
Die with yours is crazy. I said, bitch, what the fuck you? But I do love the fact that Galactus, when they reached Galactus, when they reached a planet, and they're like, well, we're at a planet, and he reaches through the planet, eats and destroys the planet. You can see when they board his ship, when the Silver Surfer fucking goes through their ship, talks to them and says, Galactus, we'll see you now.
Yeah, I was like,
I had an interview.
It's like, am I doing Game of Thrones right now? Like,
Galactus
what's going
will
on
see
here?
you now. And the first thing I thought was, fake dumbass. Oh no, bro. He about to. This is not going to be the conversation you want it to be. But you could see the tubes feeding his. This is based off of Jack Kirby. But Jack Kirby used, I don't know what it is with Marvel, what is with comic books nowadays. Making things really dark ain't pretty to me. I do agree. True. I saw, all the tubes, the cables, the lava, all the things feeding Galactus. How he eats planets, he eats the energy of planets, the nature, the soil. He eats everything. When they say he eats a planet, he eats a planet. Like, he takes everything.
Everybody going down.
Everyone's going down. He takes the essence of a planet. Because he's been out. He says I've been around since creation. I was once small like you, and he was in the beginning. And I'm like, because Galactus' origin story is he was outside of his world was outside the Big Bang until he traveled from his world and became Galactus, got hit with these cosmic energies. His technology could save him, but he had a hunger. When we first see Galactus, when we first see him get hooked off the tubes and all that shit, I love it. And then he sits there and talks to them and says, oh, you have a way to save your world. And I'm sitting there like, do they? Where the fuck did you get that from? But then he's like, oh, it's in your wife. And then Reed is like, huh? What you mean? It's just a baby. And then he goes, no, he's got the power of cosmic, like me. I'm going to need that baby now. He forces her to go into labor, have contractions, because he says the baby is hiding its power from you. He's like, Reed said something in a movie that made Johnny look at him and say, damn, fuck you. And people haven't caught it yet. When he says, no, I've checked. He's normal. I've looked. And Johnny looks at him and said, damn, nigga, he's normal?
Because the thing is, truly, what Johnny says, you're not that smart on certain things.
The thing said he's not that smart. But the word he used when he said, I checked, he's normal.
That's what I'm saying.
Basically, he's not like us. I think Johnny might have felt a little like that because he side-eyed Reed. And he might have felt a little hurt by that comment. But they never bring it up in the movie again. It's just a one-off damn, nigga, we not normal? You know what I'm saying? What does Reed really think? What does Reed really think of their powers and things? Because his logical mind is that I bet money that he's like, we're freaks of nature. Like, humanity knows we're freaks of nature, but we had to prove ourselves to all of these people time and time again, which comes down to it that when Galactus puts her in labor, they get away from the Silver Surfer, they trap her, their ship takes some damage. Franklin is born in outer space, which, what the fuck do you put on the birth certificate? Somebody said online.
That's a good question.
He's the child of outer space? he's from the stars? What do you put on his birth certificate?
You know what I mean? Unknown territory. Mm-hmm.
And I love the way Susan still is able to use their body. Johnny's like, don't tell me how to shoot sexy naked chicks. Susan Storm manhandles fucking the Silver Surfer to me, which was funny as hell. And Galactus is like, I'ma get that baby. He's like a Dr. Evil, I'ma get that baby. Come baby, get that baby.
Shabal, she was on demon time. She was like, I'm gonna get that baby either way. Mm-hmm. And she was on not letting it go. When it went to that black hole intervened, that was crazy.
It was
I never thought
it was insane, but they got out of it. The crazy part is when they got back to Earth and them saying like, oh, how did you defeat the Galactus? And he looked around like, defeat, nigga. I didn't even mention the word defeated him. Oh, we did not defeat him. He wanted a price that was too high. He wanted my child. I said, fuck no. Like any fucking reasonable person would. But in reality, the people of the Earth was like, no. Boy, you better get on that, baby.
Yeah, I'm just like, y'all being so biased.
That, baby. But I understand it from like he was just born in outer space. We don't have time with him. And if Galactus had, mind you, if Galactus had more than one herald, if this was the Galactus with more than one herald, because I know he's had multiple heralds across time and across comic book history. If he had another herald, the Fantastic Four wouldn't have gotten away. That baby would have been taken. Truly, that baby would have been taken. It would have been gone. Reed Richards would have had no child. He would have been mad. And I understood the people's rage in this movie. I understood the frustration, and Reed Richards, being a man of like logic, was like, I get it. Yeah. Their logic is to just give up the baby, and I understand it. And the fact that time and time again they prove themselves to these people. I know somewhere Dr. Doom was drinking his hot cocoa under his mask, like, ooh, look at them just get ratioed. Oh my god, look at them get hated on. Yeah, you hate the Fantastic Four? I hate them too. Oh, the world hates them? Yes, let's hate them together. People were praising Galactus like a god, a cult fiend. I really looked at this movie from a directional point of view of like, well, this is crazy. These people really were like, yeah, give up that baby. The whole world was like, give up that baby. And I'm just like, and people who were worshiping Galactus like a god, thinking that he won't destroy them, you're stupid. It was so weird.
Liking. That was crazy, man. It was creepy too.
It was, in itself was weird. Continue, go ahead.
No, because until a situation just like, y'all don't realize that she's gonna lose a child that was just born. And you guys are acting selfish. And then the thing is, she went out with her baby. Out to the crowd. And I'm surprised no one attacked. Because imagine they attacked her to try to take the baby. Hey, Galactus, we got the baby for you. Come here. That would be diabolical. If that was going to happen.
It was something I was waiting for someone to throw a rock at her. I was waiting. Really? Because this version of the Fantastic Four, this time in the 1960s, like the Nixon era, this time that they're in is a different era of our time. You know what I'm saying? This was different. If this was our time, Pop, I'm throwing you with a rock. I'm cursing at you. I'm saying, Matt, this time is different. It's more like, it was America's time to be unity, come together, at a certain point in history. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the people at least were rational enough to hear her out. Which I was like, okay, at least they're rational enough to do that. They're rational enough to work with the FF. And moving forward, when Reed Richards, I love people's joking on Reed Richards, is like, we're gonna take the Earth and move it over here. Which I caught very quickly as like a reference, is like, okay, but he's like, yo, bro, your teleporter only it takes up so much energy. He was like, yeah, the Earth. Bro said we're gonna have to communicate with the entire Earth, except for Latveria. That was like, Dr. Doom was turning on his microwave.
But I don't know if you noticed the reference of SpongeBob from Patrick. You go, we used to go east. So I was like, that was just like cracking up. It was like, we gotta take planet Earth and move it to the location.
Move it over here. Which I'm like, that's smart, but that's delaying the inevitable. Which at no point, at any, the Watcher didn't come down. They didn't get the ultimate nullifier. They had a piece of a Galactus ship, but they were trying to decode his information, which is weird because at some point I was waiting for the Watcher. I was waiting for some type of I was waiting for the Fantastic Four to go to Dr. Doom. I was waiting for when all else fails, we need someone else's help. I was waiting for that. We never got that. We never did. I don't know why I was on the edge of my seat just kind of feeling like we got the Mole Man helping. There was supposed to be somebody else helping, but we never got other characters. There was edited moments. The only time Ben feels ugly is when the TV turns off of his human self. Johnny's pining for adventure and like obsession with Shallow Ball was cute. It was nice. It shows that he's smart. Booyah. Yeah. It shows a lot of levels with these characters. Galactus, when he came, and their plan was basically to use their son as bait was smart and then switch him out, but was stupid because, Galactus saw through that. But I think
And you laughed
something,
because he was smirking too.
but I loved how Shalabal came, destroyed the teleporters around the planet, and
Hmm.
100% got violated by Johnny Storm. Johnny Storm mentally and historically destroyed her. Like gaslighting, like how men be lying to bitches and gaslighting them and like using their words against them. He 100% blew her up mentally. I'm not gonna say he mentally gaslighted her, but he trauma dumped all of the
Oh
planets,
yeah,
the screams, the energy on Shalabal
the
when she showed
Harvard.
back up. He did it to her because obviously one planet was saved, which was hers, her child, and whatever. One planet was saved, but millions, billions of other planets are getting billions of lives are destroyed because of you. And I'm
Yep.
just like, yeah, Johnny, mind fucker.
Not the mind effer. I'm
What did you
weak.
think about that?
I do think about it was just like you have to understand that you chose this. I know that you try to like protect your daughter, but there's also ways that you could have also protect others. Because if you going out there as a scout, you're also enabling the hunger of Galactus. Besides finding a different way to stop from him to becoming that person of just like, you know, constant thirst of hunger and eating other planets, you just have to be very mindful for other people because then it's like you were literally enabling it, and then not only that, people are asking for mercy, but you just
You can't
just
give
let it
mercy. He
happen.
he hungers. But this is the one
He
part I loved
hungers.
about the Fantastic Four, the animated series, where Johnny met. I think her name was it Nova? I don't know if her name was Crystal. Crystal, who became Nova. I think that's her name. Nova
Mm.
found inhabitable planets for Galactus to eat.
Right.
So usually that works out. Find an planet that has no life and he can eat here. There's most planets out there that have zero life forms that Galactus can eat. That's been a
Mm.
thing that usually like comes up in comics and whatever else, or how he's been defeated. Fantastic Avengers, Earth Mightiest Heroes, they defeated Galactus, locking him in another dimension where he can feed forever off the energy of a negative. I think it was a negative zone, or it was a different dimension that they trapped him
That's what it
in.
was.
Earth's
Yeah.
Mightiest Heroes, Avengers. Go watch that anime series; it's incredible. Galactus seeking the power cosmic. I love how Reed Richards writes that down in the movie. He's like the power cosmic, what the power cosmic is, and how Galactus can see and analyze the energy off of the child and how he can activate the energy. Because Reed may be smart, but his technology or his whatever is so limited to the point where you don't see that your child had power. But Galactus is like, I see it. I see it right now. I see it. Like, I'm looking at it and I can see he has power. He's hiding it from all of you. And that to me is like, so this baby is intentionally hiding its power,
Yep.
which
It
catches
is.
me at some point. Basically, Galactus gets the baby. Susan, Johnny, Ben, even motherfucking Mr. Fantastic. His powers are used beautifully in the movie. Reed's powers
Oh,
are
it
used
was.
beautifully in the movie. He pulls Galactus back out and make the lava blood come out of him. Johnny's flaming on and just burning him. I love when he was going to sacrifice himself. This movie
Yes.
100%. I love how they made the Fantastic Four have the best teamwork in this movie compared to a lot of other movies. I think most Avengers movies have done the teamwork thing. We've seen a lot of Avengers, a lot of superhero team ups, but
Mhm.
excuse me, we
You
see the
good.
Fantastic Four here team up, and their chemistry is so amazing. It's so
Yeah,
amazing.
because I like the fact what really got me was a Invisible Woman. You know, like Susan. Like she was a goat because like if it wasn't for her power as well to push Galactus into that teleportation portal, oh my goodness, it's like a mother would do anything to save her child. That
She
right there
pulled it.
was yeah,
And the Fantastic Four's powers do have a limit. If Johnny
they
burns
do.
too hot, too much, he can destroy the planet. The Thing eventually does die at some point, but he can be hurt. And if you stretch Mr. Fantastic far enough, he can snap.
Yep.
Their powers do have limits, and her power required her life energy. She put a lot of her...
Oh, yeah.
In the comics, she can take blasts from not one, not two, but 3 Celestials. She can take a lot of hits. She's strong. She's a powerhouse. She can take on 3 Celestials blasting at the same time. She can push Galactus. Franklin Richards can't take on the Phoenix. Franklin Richards
cannot.
He cannot take on 3 Celestials. So Franklin Richards has a limit. Like the character, he's powerful, he's unstoppable. No, he can be stopped. He has a limit. And then Marvel Comics do talk about what he can do, what he can't do. Her sacrificing herself, giving up that life force to push Galactus, but then the Silver Surfer, Shallabal coming in, when he was in space, wherever the fuck he was at, he was like, come here, bitch. Come here, I'm gonna grab you.
Oh, yeah.
Beat your ass. How dare you disrespect me, the power cosmic. I give you this power. You over here. Now, you gotta go get my ship and bring... I'm a hunger. You gotta go find my ship. Drag me to the nearest planet. Now I'm blaming you. He was yelling at her.
Oh, yeah. When he like, got up and used his hand... and just took her off the board. That said a lot. I was like, oh, he was not playing. He won his food. He won his dinner. I was like, damn.
I can't tell you how much. Like when she pushed Johnny out the way, I was like, oh, okay, girl, you came to your senses after you flew into space and took a deep breath after he mind fucked you. After Johnny mentally abused you, you came back to save us. Cause she was like, move, little man, boom. And that was the finishing blow. I liked that finishing blow because she did a good job with that. I think she...
But do you think she's still alive or you think she's dead?
Who? Silver Surfer Shallabal?
Yeah.
She's alive. She is. Because one, Galactus has no ship. 2, he's out in space in the middle of nowhere. And 3, he has
the edge of the universe.
The edge of the universe. And 3, he has a herald. So what he has to do now is wait, 1, on his ship. 2, he's gonna hunger again. And 3, his herald has to use its abilities to help him. At some point, and Galactus can take away the power and give it back. So if he wanted to be slick, he could, because she talked about the baby just being a baby, and he mind fucked her don't play with me it's a baby. Don't go sentimental, because he can mentally control. She has his power of cosmic. You have my power. You know what I'm saying? That's like
take it back anytime I want.
Exactly. So now he's just floating in space like Patrick, well, this is the end of me, I guess. Go find me some food. Just floating out there. So I love the movie. I love the cameos. They have a cameo of Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Technically, they have those cameos of these comic book creators looking outwards with comic books and the first creations. I love that. Post end credits scene. If everybody's seen it already, spoiler alert: Doctor Doom was in it. We got Franklin Richards, a little more 4 years old. He's older now. I like that. She's reading him advance the books. I guess his mind is there. I do love when she can sense that something is wrong in her house and Doctor Doom is there. In the back of my mind, the mask is off and he's touching Doom's face. I think he's repairing Doom's distorted face, because basically, if people don't know the origin story of Doctor Doom, him and Reed Richards went to school together. They went to college. Doom was creating a dimensional portal to save his mother, who was in hell. Basically, people link these comics together. Reed didn't know what he was making, but told him, hey, you're kind of off. Your math and everything, something is off. You need to kind of wait a little bit. Victor Von Doom, being Victor Von Doom, didn't give a fuck and turned that bitch on. Reed told him, no, Doom is out of control. Open that portal to hell, try to save his mother. Shit happened. The machine blew up and it destroyed his fucking face. And then he forever much blamed Reed Richards. Well, I think
a shish kebab.
It deformed Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom, being who Doom is, went back to Latveria, ruled Latveria with an iron fist, and the history of that. If you watch the older, not too much older Fantastic Four animated series, they go through Doctor Doom's origin story kind of briefly in that animated show. I loved it. What did you think of the movie?
To be honest with you, I give it like what was it again? 0.9.
A point nine.
Because of 8.9. For one, 1960s, retro futurism, and the fact that they're using certain ideas for a theme. That's what I really liked about the movie. The plot was okay, I would say, but my biggest thing, what I did like the fact was the quote in the end of Jack Kirby. If you looked at my characters, you will find me. No matter what kind of character you create or assume, a little of yourself must remain there.
Yeah,
And you rest in peace. And that's what I liked about that, because
I
it's
love
like,
that. I love that too.
yeah.
Because you can
In the
look
end,
towards those comic book characters and see a piece of, you can see a bit of like anything Jack Kirby's made, Stan or Steve Ditko. You see a bit of them in their characters because
yes.
you have to, these characters like Steve Ditko with Spider-Man. You look at young pictures of Steve Ditko, it looks like, yo, this Peter Parker looked like it was mostly off of him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
these guys created these characters with the help of Stan and formed these characters more to their images. They're not like one to one offs, but they got some personality from these creators. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love that quote too because I was like, yo, if these legends were still around to see their masterpieces, their creations, they might be critical, but they also might love the interpretations of what they've made.
That's true. And now it's like, time has ended, unfortunately.
It was
You know.
good. I like the Fantastic Four. I like obviously the come up in Avengers Doomsday. To me, that was interesting. I love the story was okay. It felt like they were trying to get to bigger finales. Like I said, Mr. Fantastic didn't feel like the smartest man to me. Susan
Mhm.
seemed to be obviously the savior, quote unquote. Some people might have felt a little something about that because women, some people out there. But I do like the fact that she, as a mother, pulled it out of her ass. Johnny, I like the fact that they gave him more brains than just good looks and women pining over him. Ben could have had a little more something. I felt like Ben was he was just there. Like you're just there. Like he's the pilot. He's witty. He finally got to say his clobbering Tom. That was cool. But all
Running
around,
time.
I do give the movie a solid 8. A solid 8 for
Solid eight.
myself. A solid 8 for myself because there was some. If they would have just shown the origin story, just give me the hit by cosmic rays. They, land on like a fucking beach somewhere. They landed in the water and you see the thing punch. I was like, I didn't got time for that shit.
Yeah, because inside, you know how the beginning goes. It's like, okay, well, we can
Yeah.
tell you about the origin story, like
I know.
how we.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty much it.
I just like to. For me, being with these characters for so long, it doesn't get old to me. I just love that. I love that part to me. Just like what they did with Superman was they just gave us text. I'm like, I gotta read all this shit to catch up. I'm reading text in the beginning of this movie. Fuck you. I'm not doing all that. So
Too much.
that's my problem. If they would have shown Krypton blowing up, Superman fast forwarding to that being raised up in Smallville, we know the story, but we just
Right.
want to see us get to. Oh, now he got his ass beat in Bolivia. So you know what I mean? He got his ass beat by the Hammer Bolivia. I like a little show and like less tell. Because what they did was just they told us and didn't show us. I like a little more of that.
Sure.
I like for me personally, but I understand audiences should know these characters already. We shouldn't have to do the Batman origin story. We shouldn't have to do the Superman. We shouldn't have to do Fantastic Four. We shouldn't have to see Uncle Ben get shot again and have him say with great power comes great responsibility. You know what I mean? We shouldn't have to, but
Yeah.
I think there's things that make sense. And for me, that makes sense because these characters wouldn't be these characters without these moments in their lives. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. You're right
Without
about
those
that.
moments that we just never see, they wouldn't be that. What makes them those heroes is what comes after, personally, for me. Moving forward, what do you have you watched Tokopi's Original Sin?
Togepi's. I haven't seen it yet. No.
Okay, so for the audience out there, I'm gonna run past this as very quickly. Probably with spoilers. Tokopi's Original Sin is basically an anime of a little alien called Tokopi from Happy Planet. It's fucking cute as hell. It's like a little. It's like a little octopus. It's a pink octopus from a planet that's just nothing but happy, that goes around the universe just spreading happiness, love, and cheer. Cutest shit in the world. I want a toy. I want one. It's just so cute. I want to have a big plushie just sitting on my table behind me because it's beautiful. It meets with this girl who is just getting the shit kicked out of her at school. I forget her name. Not Marino-chan. It's a girl at school just getting abused, getting wrecked.
Bullied.
And for me, I love the fact that Shuzuka-chan. Shuzuka is getting bullied at school by a girl named Marino. Marino is mad at Shuzuka for her mother is basically a prostitute sleeping with her father. And her father's not coming home to spend time with his family. He's sleeping with this prostitute. And basically the prostitute mom is like using that money to buy her daughter like books and stuff for school, put clothes on her back. But her daughter goes to school every day with beat up clothes, backpack, desk written with crazy words, like just mean shit. And this girl gets beat up by Marina every single day, to the point where eventually in the original story, the dog, it basically is like, there's a couple time jumps in the story. Tokopi sees this, is trying to help her out. It's like, I don't know what's going on, because he's a happy alien. He's from a happy planet. He goes to school with her, kind of hidden like a chameleon plant, which is weird. Hides himself like a chameleon plant because he has all these little happy gadgets that he calls them. And I love his happy gadgets are just so like childish, but they're meant for like acts of happiness and being used. He can transform into certain people, but he always says P at the end of a sentence because he's always happy. His planet doesn't know fear. They don't know murder. They don't know nothing but just being happy. So it kind of think of like, if there's aliens out there that are really happy, they're ignorant to what humans go through and our emotional complexities, right?
Right.
This anime is what I think is the pinnacle. It's gotten high reviews. It's gotten high anime scores. I think it's top right now in Crunchyroll. It's top everywhere. It's got incredible reviews, and even Reddit likes this anime, and that tells you something. To break it down for the most part without maybe some spoilers here or there for some people, this anime is hands down frightening and scary, because there's kids, there's Marina, Shuzuka, and there's a boy, I forget his name as well, he's kind of like a nerd. They all have their own 100% problems. And it all has to do with their parents. Marina gets abused by her mother, where at some point her mother beats the shit out of her, almost stabs her in the eye stabs her with glass. At one point in time she does. This is a fast forward in time. There's a lot of time travel shenanigans that happened where Tokopi is trying to help Shuzuka. He gives her a happy rope where you tie it to someone else's finger and apologize and talk to each other. She takes that and hangs herself.
What the hell?
Yep, she takes that and hangs herself. And Tokopi doesn't know why. He's like, why would she do that? And he violated the first rule of Happy Planet, which was you don't ever give somebody these tools because they will misuse it. Fast forward, there's a lot of time travel shenanigans. I would recommend anybody to watch Tokapi's original Sin because it's about mental abuse, physical, not misunderstandings, and realizing that happiness, what they, people say, oh, you just need to be happy. Happiness does not change how you feel. Because this creature in this entire show was so happy. He's been kicked, abused, beat up. He's seen some things. He's been, when they say walk a mile in somebody's shoes, he's walked miles in these guys' shoes. He has been mentally and physically abused to the point where he's like, I don't understand why you guys do these. I don't get it. But I can understand that maybe I'm the cause of it. At some point in time in this show, 6 episodes as it is, I love Tokapi's originals. It made me mentally cry for these kids, for abuse, because I won't throw anything out there to the audience about my time, my life, but it connected with me on a very emotional and mental level and a mature level as an adult. As a kid, I would have saw this coming. I said, shit, you got to fix this, do this. But as an adult, I would have been upset to be a kid because this was, I can't say this was me because I'm not telling you what, this reminds me that kids can go through so much in their lives and then they might pass those traits on from their parents that they've been put in situations. It's a very mental type of anime that 100% people should enjoy and go watch. Go watch Togepi's original Sin. Besides that one spoiler and the fact I talked about time travel, it's a really compelling anime, and it will pull on your strings, it'll pull on your heartstrings, and it really does sign the message off that happiness isn't everything. Like it isn't. And in finding a common ground, I do think with people who are bullying you or abusing you, there might be something towards that. I believe like they really do tackle that conversation in the show. They tackle a lot of conversations in the show that are very deeply rooted in humanity. Besides the little, the cute things and like the things with Tokapi, his original sin in this movie screams louder than how things have happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of more than just one sin. So go watch that anime if anybody out there. Tokapi's original sin. King of the Hill, season 14. Have you watched it?
No, I haven't watched that actually. That's another thing I missed out.
Really? Missed out. We'll talk about that next podcast. King of the Hill. And
next podcast we'll talk about that.
We'll have Mr. Shinifukaze here catch up on some Tokapi information. King of the Hill. I'm watching it right now. It's fun. It's different. It's energetic. I like it. Season 14 is just doing a good job. It's still funny. Like they caught up to date with a lot of the jokes. It's funny. It's got good energy. When I finish it, I'll come back more in the next podcast. But I just love it. Gachiakuta. Have you seen it?
Not that either. Too. I have like 3 things I have to watch.
All right.
And also,
for the audience that are watching it, enjoy it. It's a good anime. When you watch it, just enjoy. Basically, it's created by Kayu Urata. She basically created the anime off of her losing or breaking her favorite pen or pencil. And basically, the anime is objects that you love and care about have so much emotion. This illustrator and artist 100% loved not Demon Slayer. What the hell is that anime? Soul Eater. She loved Soul Eater to the point that her art was just bomb diggity awesome. Like she drew Soul Eater.
I see what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
She drew Soul Eater better than the creator, and eventually got to work with the studio that made Soul Eater off of her art. She's worked with many other like manga creators. She's a mangaka herself, but this female mangaka 100%, this anime is her, I think, pride and joy. And I do like the premise of if you have an object or something that you care about and love deeply, that you put your soul into it and you can create it. It's a beautiful anime. Tom Holland Spider-Man suit reveal, love it. There's a lot of set photos out there. A lot of stuff is coming out. He's filming right now in England. I think it's called Glasgow, however the fuck you say it.
I think it was called.
Yeah, Glasgow.
Hold up. Let me see. What's
I
it
said
called?
it. I said it last time in one of my shorts.
Let me see. Hold on. Give me a second, because I know it was that. Spider-Man. No, it's Brand New Day.
Yeah, Brand New Day is filming in Glasgow. It's filming in England right now.
Oh, you're talking about the location.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it is Glasgow then. Yeah.
yeah. A lot of set photos are happening. We got images of a symbol that is related to the demons from Spider-Man, which is like
Mm.
Martin Lee, which is Mr. Negative.
Oh,
They're
Mr. Negative.
saying
Oh, dope.
they're saying John Bernthal Hulk is gonna be in it. John Bernthal's Punisher is gonna get an amazing upgrade. They just finished wrapping the Punisher special. They just finished wrapping that, and it was filming in New York. A lot of things are coming out
Yeah.
about that. So I'm gonna have images on our above me. A lot of things are moving with Marvel. What do you think about the Tom Holland suit reveal? What do you think about it's filming now? What do you think about the new Spider-Man Brand New Day? What do you think?
I think about the new Spider-Man to be actually a new way to just like show a difference of like Tom Holland, because remember like when we watched which one was it with Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield, was it?
No Way Home.
I forgot. Yeah, that has to be like something different. Like I want to see a little difference on that,
You want to see
especially
it?
like.
Do you want to see a grounded Spider-Man?
Yeah, I do want to see that, and I do. And the thing that I'm kind of thinking in the top of my head is, what if the symbiote is in this one? Because I remember like in Venom that he says like, when you was looking at the screen and saw Tom Holland, like, yeah, we want you. Like I was just like, okay, that's kind of weird and sus at the same time, but Venom, how the
Yeah.
symbiotes are and stuff. So I do feel like in this one, it would be kind of interesting to see if they're gonna be in this movie. You know?
I do think what is it? After No Way Home, the end credits, Tom Hardy's Venom gets blasted. A piece of the Venom symbiote is on the table, but then that
Yeah.
somehow leads into the Venom Last Stand, the Venom movie, and that last Venom movie was it. But then again, I'm like, he transported and there was a symbiote left on the table, so I'm like, maybe that symbiote is a symbiote that's in the other world where we were
Yeah.
left with Tom Holland, hopefully. But then I don't know, Sony just be fucking up so badly.
And Sony owns Spider-Man, not Marvel though.
Yeah, I know, but Sony be fucking up. So I'm just like with their worlds. Madam Web was trash. Craven the Hunter was
Oh yeah,
alright.
it was yeah.
Venom did pretty okay for what it is, but it's like the problem with Sony. I'm gonna be real with y'all. The problem with Sony is they're trying to capitalize and push off with characters that need Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Like
That's
what?
why I
Like
agree with
big
you on that.
dumbass. Like why are we dealing with characters by themselves, but they're only fucking there because of Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Why? Like Matt. They say the Scorpion, Matt Gargan, is gonna be in Spider-Man: Brand New Day. But he shared an image of Scorpion and Venom, which somebody was like, "Who's gonna tell him that Scorpion eventually becomes Venom?" I said, "Oh shit, that could be interesting." We have a
I
lot
see.
of things here. The Hulk is gonna be there, and I like the fact that if Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is gonna be there, and someone said that if Mr. Negative is there, Hulk is there, Punisher is there, and so Scorpion. We have it's a ground level Spider-Man. He's more grounded, but this Punisher is still going to be shooting and killing. Peter Parker doesn't do that, so he's going to try to stop Punisher. A friend of mine, Mr. Dark Phoenix, said, "I wonder if Punisher is going to call him little baby Red, because
Probably.
like Daredevil, call him like Little Red, because he's like,
Yeah.
you remind me of Red from Hell's Kitchen." I would be so livid if that happened, because I cannot
Good
imagine
reference.
Tom Holland. Yeah, good reference. I cannot imagine Spider-Man stopping Punisher from shooting and killing motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Shooting and
because
killing people, and then having to fight people at the same time as trying to shoot people.
yeah, it's because like Punisher, he has no morals because it's like criminals deserve one thing and one thing only:
to be punished.
6 feet
Yeah.
under.
For
That's
him
it.
to, for him, he's like, nah, they deserve to be punished. I love from the original Daredevil, like season 2, is you hit them and they get back up. I hit them and they stay back down, and they stay down. I said, shit, that's what it is. I can't lie. For him, he has a point. I do like in Daredevil Born Again, which to the audience, I was in episode 4 of the first season, so I'm just in the background, I'm in there. You know what I'm saying?
No, your boy here, he's
You know what I'm saying?
inside the Netflix
You
series
know what I'm saying? Yes,
as a background actor.
You know what I'm saying? Well, not the Netflix series, the Disney Plus series. So
Oh, sorry, Disney Plus.
I signed me the NDAs a long time ago, but I was in there. I do like the fact that we're getting a more grounded Tom Holland, but we're also getting like the destruction and things that happen around him. Someone, a YouTuber mentioned that if Mr. Negative is here, imagine Mr. Negative touches Spider-Man or touches the Hulk and brings out the savage, evil, like the dick-headed Hulk, like that anger. Because I'm gonna be real with y'all, I'm tired of Smart Hulk. I do agree, Smart Hulk, and Hulk never got his get back on Thanos. Terrible. But Punisher, I swear to you, Punisher is definitely going to be shooting at the Hulk. He's going to be shooting at the Hulk because the Punisher gets an upgrade in this movie. I can't wait for it. So that's as much as I've been like seeing around. As Tom Holland's also fighting on a tank and stuff like that, which the tank has a symbol of the demons. I already mentioned that. I don't know what I'm expecting, but I heard Sony wanted to do more multiversal things, which I'm just like, please no, please stop. I feel like the multiverse at this point, Marvel can't get it. Marvel, I think with Wolverine and Deadpool, the multiverse was fine with that because it was more slapstick comedy. It was fun. It was interesting. But even they made a joke at it. They're like, hey, look, the multiverse thing sucked in the comics. It was too much, and people weighed off. Just come back with good stories because we care about this.
Yeah, that's right. I agree with you on that.
Kevin Feige's talking about not bringing in Miles Morales, which I kind of agree with.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, unfortunately, because like it would be great, but then I realized this is too much as it is. We already have the Spideyverse, and they're working on that for Beyond Spider-Verse Part 3. So I'm just like, and then think live action of it. It's just like, who would be the great actor for playing Miles Morales?
Shameik Moore could have totally did it if he just looked a little more younger. But I understand, like they got Donald Glover to play a different version of the Prowler with a British accent. He's not a creep.
I'm not saying like in a bad way. I'm just saying like work related. Like you guys understand people's boundaries. You just
no. Don't listen. Let's not be parasocial. The stuff that came out, the information. Okay. I made a video about it. I think Shameik Moore.
That's what I've heard though.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I think Shameik Moore has he was bad timing because he tweeted out the same time his co-star tweeted out that she was getting married. He was dropping a song, and he also put an image with him and another co-star from Spider-Man, a Spider-Man show. The chick that played, I forget her name. She played Tom Holland's love interest in the first Spider-Man movie, the first one that came out, and Homecoming. She played Liz Allen, and that actress came out and was like, I don't know why he posted an image, but Shameik was trying to promote his song, and everybody kept clipping him and Haley Steinfeld's like interactions. They kept clipping those interactions that are supposed to be weird and goofy. They kept clipping them as like, this is awkward. And I'm like, well, yeah, because he's supposed to be like, oh, I'm sharing the screen with her and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's supposed to be that. Because they're sitting in a fucking press room repeating themselves. Because I'm like, are they repeating? Because that's what actors do. Like, they sit in press rooms and repeat themselves. I think people were dragging it a little bit. They were really dragging it. And Shameik Moore's, to his defense, a little bit, I feel like he just has sucky timing with things. And he does not know how to like just move properly with his social media. And I feel like people who looked at the interviews, it was like, these are weird, might have like took it that way. If the actress didn't come out and say nothing, stop speaking for people. That's my whole tidbit on it.
Okay.
Yeah. And yes, one actress came out and said, oh, He posted that video. He posted that picture, a video image of us, and I told him to take it down. And he never got back to me, so he's fucking weird. And I was like, oh, maybe he's busy, girl. Damn. And then he took it down. He apologized. He was just like, look, it's the fan fiction. I think things are a little blown out of proportion. That's my fault. He might just have sucky timing. But at the same time, I get it from people's point of view. This just looks bad for you to be doing a tweet right after your co-star gets married. But at the same time, I thought he just got off of Kai Cenat's live stream with him, NPC Miles, aka Leaks World. So I'm like, I thought he was tweeting out like that, like, oh, there's new people to meet, new things to do, you know what I'm saying? Because he just got off a stream of somebody doing a marathon. So I'm like, maybe he feels inspired. But, a lot of people are going to read into that. So that's why I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Let's not jump to any conclusions because, yeah. Because for me personally, I do like Shameik more because I grew up with him like on Incredible Crew. But a cosplayer that I fucking know called me a creep for defending him or looking at a different point of view because I feel like it's so easy to dogpile somebody. It is. It's easy to dogpile someone because like if he's a piece of shit, he's a piece of shit. Like I've met the dude in person. He signed my sneakers. Even my partner said he seems fake. I said, well, yeah, because he's one of those Hollywood type of motherfuckers. That's not my business. I don't care. Just sign my shit because I paid to be here. You know what I'm saying? For me, I paid to be here. Just sign my shit. I also told him in person, yo, loved you on Incredible Crew. Thank you for bringing a character that had no voice to life. It was Shameik and Donald Glover that brought Miles to life to me personally. That brought that character to life to me personally. Donald Glover brought him to life, and Shameik Moore did a good job. What he's going through,
it's like a personal thing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, what he's going through. I do look at it as to be like, maybe this nigga is just stupid at reading the room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe he's dumb at that. But a cosplay friend, ex-friend, called me some names and just OD'd with it. Like after something happened with another friend of mine's, I was like, oh damn, nigga. I'm like, I see different points of view on this. That's why I don't want to call people out unless we have like factual evidence and stuff that makes sense instead of video clips and one tweet. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, that says a lot. Damn. Mm-hmm. I didn't really know the whole idea like that, but damn.
Yeah, see? I have a video out on my channel, A Fat Man. I'll leave that in the link for anyone if they want to watch it. Because there's more, there's always more out there than just what you see. Make sure you keep your minds and eyes open. Thank you, everybody, for joining us to this podcast. This is the first ever brand new episode. Everything else for people who've been here, I understand if you missed the old work, we're trying to move forward and build something different. So just give us some time. Please be patient. For all the nerdy things you've listened to today, all the movies you've heard us talk about, all the anime we've mentioned, the shows we've mentioned, please let us know what you like in the comments below. This has been a pretty long podcast. We talked about Superman. It took up a chunk. Fantastic Four took up a little bit, and all the other things we've talked about. It's gonna give us some time here, but thank you for joining us. We're gonna get everything straight. And next week, live, aka King Hime joins the podcast because right now she's busy. She has things to do. So thank my guest and one of my hosts, Shinifu Kaze, Mr. Kaze himself.
Hello. Goodbye.
Thank you for joining. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate your input. Appreciate you being here for this first brand new episode of a brand new wave. And ladies and gentlemen, for all of the things you've listened to, for all the shows and animes, anything you want us to watch, please leave it in the description below and make sure to like, subscribe. We love to hear your opinions on what we've talked about. And also, what do you disagree with us on? And what do you agree with us on? And what comics are you growing up with? Being a nerd is hard. As you were growing up, life just keeps battering and battering you. And now being a nerd seems to be in the mainstream. But for now, if you've grown up as a full-fledged nerd as we are, let us know in the comments below. Enough said.
Right.
Peace.
All right. Later, guys.